today, and give us a rendition of your halftime speech.
Well, like I just shared with Coach Chancellor, he might have really enjoyed being in there at halftime, and understand my fury came across. I'm a non-swearing person, so can you imagine, the dialogue, if you will. But nonetheless, it was a great game. First and foremost, I really do. I want to congratulate Coach Robin Harmony and the body of work she's done, not just this year, but every year. She represents this conference well, and she has done a great job with her program, and her student athletes are a great reflection of them in Lamar. So I really would like to, congratulate them on a successful season and thank them for what they do for the conference. We knew going into this game it had to be about us. I do tend to be a repetitive person because when something isn't broke, you don't have to fix it. But like I've said so many times, when we went on that little skid early in conference, we had to change the narrative. And it wasn't about beating people. It was about Colonels winning. And with that, we had to fight the good fight, stay positive, and let it be about the Colonels winning, because those are things you can't put on the scout. It's what I told them after the game. I said, you've demonstrated resilience all year long. I said, even if they see resilience on a scout, how do you guard it? How do you stop it? And it's the high character, it's the grit, tremendous leadership from Tia and Marina and Cassidy, and it's just that no-win attitude, and you can't scout that. I've always told my teams, you can't scout what's in your head and your hearts. And when you're playing with your head and your hearts, and what can you control? There were some things out of our control today, and at the end of the day, early, not at the end of the day, early in those timeouts, I'm like, we are all that we need. And we have to fight the good fight, and we have to make our own adjustments. If this is going to be how it has to play out, then good. We're smart enough, we're strong enough, and we can make those adjustments. And praise God, give Him all the glory, and we did. And we have a bunch of warriors, Colonel warriors.
Okay, reminder, please turn off your cell phones, and we'll open it up for questions now for the student athletes, and we'll get a mic to you. Ready to go? Here we go.
Cassidy and Tia, just talk about that third quarter. I mean, y'all were just hitting on everything, went on that 17-0 road and take control of the game. Just talk about that. What was, it seems like y'all weren't missing at all that quarter.
Yeah, like in previous games we said, when we go down, we can't hang our heads. We knew third quarter had to be our best quarter. So, we had to come out, get our run so we could get them behind and keep that momentum. And our team really, it was a total team effort today, including our bench. We couldn't do it without them. And I'm just so proud of our team for coming together and getting this win today.
Pretty much just to piggyback off of Cass, usually in the first half of the season, the third quarter was our worst quarters, and we decided to turn it around to make sure that we were able to take over in the third quarter. And like she said, it was a total team effort, so we just came out ready to play. We knew it had to be about us.
Okay, Isaac?
I think you are the sawmills for both student athletes. T, I can see the emotions on your face. For both of y'all, paving new territory for your program. What is this feeling like right here?
Honestly, this is one of the most amazing feelings I've ever felt, probably in my entire life. Like, I'm just so blessed and humbled to be up here with Cassidy, Player of the Year. She did amazing things this year. I'm just so proud of her, proud of the team, everything that we've overcome. Coach Doobie made a reference. In January, we were 3-6 in conference, and we had to turn it around and make the narrative about us. So just to be able to do this for seniors of the past, Jenny Nash, Imani White, Shay Arnick, everybody who came before us and paved the way for us, is just a blessing.
Yeah, just like she said, we were picked 9th to come into this conference, and we all taped the standings on our locker at the beginning of the year, and we could just look at it. And Lamar's up there at number 1, and we're number 9. So we came in with a chip on our shoulder. We had to prove that we need to be up there with number 1 and Lamar. So I think we proved that today.
Okay, John.
Great game, team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cassidy, I have a question for you. How did you wind up being so open all the time?
This girl right here. When my teammates drive, I have to try and get into the open spots, and they lucky enough to find me, and I have to knock it down for them.
Okay, is that Tina?
Tia.
Tia.
Tia, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You handle the ball quite well for your size. Not saying anything about your size. What type of answer could you answer for me about your ball handling skills?
Honestly, my dad, when I was young, he would never let me shoot the ball. He just made me dribble the ball everywhere I went. Like, literally, if I was on the way to school, I had to dribble the bus, dribble the ball, everything. So it's just indicative to him because he always told me, if you can't do anything, you have to be able to handle the ball.
Okay, y'all are in the finals on tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
I mean Sunday?
Yes,
Tomorrow.
sir.
Which is tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
What would be your outlook on playing tomorrow's game? What would be?
You know, like I said yesterday, we're just taking one game at a time. So now that we're past Lamar, you know, we could look ahead. And I feel like if we just keep playing like we're playing, we're about to make history again. You know, we're making history every day. So I can't wait to get on the court with my team tomorrow and prove to everybody that we could be the Southland champions.
What would y'all like to say about your great coach?
She's amazing.
Yes,
She's
beyond
amazing.
words.
Okay, any more questions for the student athletes? Ladies, thank you.
Thank
Sleep
you.
fast.
And for the record, they are the amazing ones and beyond words. So it's clear. Love you both.
Okay, questions for Dobie? Got right here, and then Van.
Coach, I mean, late in the game, they tied it up, but it seems like the girls never gave up and got the points needed. Just talk about their resilience late in the game, that you knew Lamar was going to make a run, and they answered each time.
Well, certainly their resilience, but when tactically, I was down to 2 timeouts, and I just had to call one. And I'm a timeout hog. I need them all at the end. And so with that, was even just so just amazing how they kept the composure, because I kept telling them, I'm down to 1, I have to save it, I'm down to 1, and then when I ran out, and we knew they were going to keep the pressure on. And so I had to keep making adjustments from the sidelines in the set and who's coming up, because they were going to be fouling us right away. So it was just a matter of just getting somebody there and getting the right person to the ball, and you know, they were very good at doing that. And even when they tied it up, you know, this team has, again, been so amazing. It's never too early to panic, and it's, you know, before this game and leading into this tournament, there is not a scenario that we haven't seen all year. You know, being up, being down, you know, what and what all game, never losing a lead, never having a lead to the end, which is the best time to have the lead. But we've seen it all. And I keep telling them, you are prepared, so there is no pressure. You know, pressure comes through lack of preparation. And you are prepared, so there is no pressure on you. You go out there, do what we need to do, and we'll be fine one way or another. Because at the end of the day, when you've given it everything, you've done everything you could do, you've prepared, you know, mind, body, and soul. At the end of the day, it's completely out of your hands. You just have to do your body of work and let the chips fall where they may. And keep the faith. And, you know, I like our chances. I always have. I've always told the team, look, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You know, and at some point during the season, they're probably looking at me like I had 3 heads. But I kept saying, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine.
Dan?
Coach, this is the best game I've ever seen you coach.
Thank you, Coach. Coming from a Hall of Famer, you're going to get me crying up here again.
You were behind 38-30. You went up 50-41. That's a 20-3 I don't have much of a Mississippi State education, but I can add. What adjustments did you make at that time to go on this big run in the third quarter?
Well, at halftime, besides the narrative, and understand there was no swearing there, but besides the narrative, I felt like our ozone, back to our matchup and how we were scheming out of our matchup, it was almost there, but it wasn't enough. So the adjustment we made was, first of all, we had our guards Dutch and maybe a little bit more, and understanding that, you know, we can't stay in that. It was a timing thing. We couldn't stay in that Dutch too long because they could open up a shooter right there in the wing, and they did a really good job of timing it just enough to get the ball in their hands. And then we knew in the second half we couldn't afford to all out deny Mo. But what we had to do is be very, very conscientious of where she was and make it very, very hard for her to get anything clean. And then the other, again, it wasn't a big adjustment, and we had to get better. I assigned our bigs that their big does not touch the ball, because in our O-zone we're pulling it up, and not that their big can shoot the ball up there, but their big would be the release pass and can get them in it. And I think our bigs did a very good job with that.
Well, I have to ask this. What is an O-zone?
It's a crazy defense. It's a 2-1-2 high, and do I have to say how I run it? What if somebody's listening I don't want to hear? No, but it is. It's our O-zone. It's a 2-1-2 high, and we pull it up high, and then we drop back down into our matchup.
Okay, any more questions, Isaac? This is going to have to be our last question of the session.
Coach, can you talk about Stephen F. Austin and Central Arkansas a little bit going into tomorrow?
Well, first of all, again, I need to echo the same comments about Robin and Lamar. I just think both programs are well represented in the Southland. I've been very fortunate to sit on the NCAA committee in terms of the selection, the regional selection, and I've been reporting on those two teams and Lamar, all season. And they have definitely, between RPIs and everything, represented the Southland Conference well. They're both well coached, and they have some tremendous players. And I really think whoever we're playing tomorrow, the matchups are going to be interesting and good either way, and you're gonna enjoy a good ball game.
Okay, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Is
Dennis.
it still a no hug zone?